Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm doing a first impressions video for the 3 to 6 player bluffing game Fly Further. Now, in this game you are trying to either mine or colonize different planets. The thing is, if your opponents choose the same option, you have to share the victory points with them. And of course, certain planets have different abilities on them as well, different scoring conditions. So you're going to be going through these different cards, different planets, and again, in each round, bluffing and trying to read your opponents. Now, I'm going to show you how to play, but I'm going to show you in a you're not supposed to play as 2 players, but I'm just for the mechanism, to show off the mechanisms and how the game plays. I'm playing this as 2 players, but this is a 3 to 6 player game. There's no less than 3. So let me show you how the game works, and then we'll go into my initial thoughts of this game. Okay, so this is how Fly Further is going to be set up. I'm setting up for just a 2-player game, but I recommend you play this game with more than 2 players. So I chose the humans here. This is a pretty basic complexity faction. Of course, they are always represented by blue. There are other factions represented by the different colors. They have a little bit more complexity in them. So you'll see there are several yellow, several green. I'm going against a purple. Now, if you flip the back, it's going to tell you the cards you're going to start with and have. Now, the special planet cards are like this. This is a Speculoids mine, but you also have the Speculoids colony. I chose the Speculoids colony. And of course, at the top right, it tells you the energy cost at the player count. So, in this is a bluffing game where you're trying to settle colonies, but the game's gonna end when these 3 asteroid belt cards come out. So just for mechanisms, just showing how the game works, they're going to be mixed in with the deep space deck. I'm just putting them here for now, and this is the near space deck. And not all cards are gonna be started with the game, but they can come out with special effects. So you would put that on top, and you would start the discover phase. Now, of course, every faction has a special ability, and now we have these certain cards here. Again, this was the special planet card, the Speculoid colony card. We have 2 mines, a Fly Further, and 2 colony cards. So I'll show you now how that works. Now, when you start the game, you can again shuffle this deck up, and we're gonna start with the discover phase. In the discover phase, you are going to flip the top card, and it's going to show a planet. Now, on this planet, it's going to show a special ability, the victory points if you colonize, and the victory points when you mine. And at the top, it's going to show what kind of planet it is, if it is a water or a dry planet. Again, I'll show what the dry symbol means later. Now, all players are going to look at their cards, and they're going to decide what they want to do. Again, I'll go over what Fly Further means. So let's just say I want to colonize. I will place it face down. Nobody else is going to know what I'm playing. And then my opponent here is going to do the same thing. So we all flip. So purple wants to colonize. I want to colonize. Now, because we both chose colonization, we have to split those victory points in half. So we would each get 3 victory points. We wouldn't get the full amount. And again, if there were more players, we would have to share it amongst those players as well. The same goes for mining. Now, here it says if 1+ player played the Fly Further card, players who built a colony are also going to get 3 extra victory points. So there are several things that will happen on some of these cards. Sometimes these event cards are going to come out. So this is a space casino. Everybody has to follow this card. Now, the way they come out, it depends on which faction is out. Again, I'm just showing you guys, for example, how the event cards work. When these come out, everyone has to partake in them. Some could be good, some can be bad. So here's another event card. Now let's go. So here we have a dry planet. Now, this one's 9, this one's 6. When you use your card, you're going to place it right here. Here we have energy. There are certain cards and certain ways to get energy in this game. The eye symbols are for certain factions, certain effects. Again, I'm not going to go over everything. I'm just going to go over very basically how the game works. So now let's say we have the dry. I want to, I could mine it. Now, same thing. If the other player decided to colonize instead, I'm going to get all those points, and they're going to get all of those points. But now, for example, any amount of victory points you gain from mining can be exchanged for energy. So that's more ways to get energy. Again, you're going to move up on this track when you score points. Again, these look like sharks, but they're supposed to be spaceships. So, well, it's going to look like that. So now let's go over what the fly further action does. So the fly further action, you're gonna, when you play this, depending on what planet you're on, if it's a dry planet, you're gonna get 3 energy. If you are on the water planet, you're going to get 2 energy, and you're gonna get one of these action cards. So these action cards are gonna help. You can use these at any time, or you can, sometimes they'll tell you use it on another player's turn. Some can be very good for you, some can mess over other players. So essentially, the game is just going to keep going. You're going to be flipping cards, bluffing each other. Another thing I didn't mention is right after that, you're going to refresh. So refresh, you can spend your energy to get the cards that you used back. So fly further will always go back in your hand, but there's certain special cards like the Speculoid's Mine that will go up here. They are special cards, and of course other factions have special cards as well. Like one of the red factions has this nasty card that can mess up other players. Again, all factions are gonna have different abilities, but essentially the game is a bluffing game, trying to read your opponent on thinking of what they're going to play. The game is going to keep going until all the asteroid belt cards come out. Again, the asteroid belt, they also have their own little abilities here. But yeah, that is essentially the game. It plays pretty quick, and it's a very, very easy game to pick up. So let's go and hear my initial impressions. So my initial impressions of this game were actually very good. I enjoyed this game a lot. It's simple, it's really easy to teach, and it plays quickly. You could get a game done with 6 players in 45 minutes. Yeah, actually, and again, I showed you as a 2-player. You cannot play this anyway as a 2-player game. I do think this game is best at higher player counts, 4, 5, even 6. I think 6 is the best because again, with me, I like the whole strategy of trying to read everybody else and what they plan or what they want to do. Component. I mean, yeah, again, this is a prototype, and again, I want to thank the company. I can't pronounce the company's name, but the developer is Sergey Shapovalov. I want to thank them for sending me this prototype for the first impressions video. But this is a great gateway game into bluffing games, and again, it says 8 and up. I think this is a great game for kids, for families to get into this hobby. I did like how all the factions, they played a little different. There was some that were really mean, like I showed you the Parasite one, but it does balance out. With the purple one I showed was known for their taxes. You take you take energy. There's others with the that focus on colonizing. Others focus on mining. Everything balances out at the end of the day. Yeah, I guess there's some randomness because you don't know which card's coming up. But at the end of the game, this is a bluffing game. You're trying to read and be conservative on how you want to play your cards. That is the most important. Another thing I showed you, like the humans, that's a basic faction, so they didn't have all the special cards the other blue factions would. But yeah, a very simple, easy game to pick up. Again, we played this game 45 minutes. It does not take an hour at all, and the replayability I think is going to be pretty good because not every card is going to show up in this game. There are certain faction abilities and certain event cards that will tell you to go in the box and get some cards out, but again, you're going to see different cards every game. Again, I do think that it makes a good filler game. I do. If you're a fan of games like Citadels and stuff, I think you're going to enjoy this game a lot. I don't think it's as mean as actually it couldn't be as mean as Citadels, but Citadels is a much meaner game. But I think Fly Further is going to be pretty popular when it comes out. Again, great amongst families. great gateway game to teach kids, to teach people who are getting into this hobby. And there's a lot of depth and strategy to it. Again, like I said before, all these factions have these different abilities. It's up to you how you want to utilize them and win at the end of the game. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. This was a little bit of a surprise hit for me. So if you like it, I'm going to post a link to the crowdfunding page. I'm not sure if it's going to be on GameFound or Kickstarter, but I will post a link in the description section. But thanks for watching. If you like this video, please please subscribe. Help this little channel growing. It's starting to grow little by little every day. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. That is Fly Further. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great one.